Video. Today we're doing two WNBA player props here on PrizePicks for Wednesday, August 28th. Before we get started, guys, link in the description. Hop into our premium Discord. $9.30 per month, 31 cents per day. It's where I post all the plays I'm making on PrizePicks. Other coppers in there as well. They post their plays. Super positive community. Everyone in there just trying to help each other cash. Again, NFL season, college football season. I'm gonna have a college football video coming out later today. Actually, I think probably tonight. College football for Thursday, college football for Friday, college football for Saturday. So again, hit that subscribe button if you have not yet already. Content like this coming every single day. But let's get into it. Two player props, WNBA slate today. We have a massive slate. I think 5 games. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. No WNBA tomorrow. So 5-game WNBA slate today. I got 2 player props that I am targeting here from this slate. Again, let's not waste any time. Let's get right into it. First play, Alyssa Thomas, over 38 fantasy score. Both these plays are going to be fantasy score lines. Looking at this matchup here, Connecticut versus the Indiana Fever. 3.5 point spread, 163.5 over-under, which is, again, the highest over-under of any close spread game. New York Liberty's 13.5 point favorites in a game that's 164.5. But looking at this matchup, essentially, this is the 4th time these teams are going to be playing each other. And the only real close game was at Indiana, right, at the Fever. When this game back in May went 88-84, and the Fever have become a much better team even since this game. But in that game, Alyssa Thomas went crazy, 24, 14, and 9 with a steal and a block, 1 turnover. She played all 40 minutes. Looking at Alyssa Thomas this season, it really just comes down to minutes, I think, for her, right? In games when she plays 36-plus minutes, she's over this 38 fantasy score line or of her last 20. She's over in 15 of her last 20. In 2024, she's over in 9 of 12 games, averaging 42.03 fantasy points. Again, this is Outlier, you guys. Link in the description below, 7-day free trial with Outlier. But 9 of 12 games this season when she plays 36 minutes, she's over on this line. On away games, she's over in 5 of 6 games. But more specifically, right, if we take away all these filters, home versus away, versus the Indiana Fever this season, she's played them 3 times, like I said, 46.5, 59.3, which was the close game at Indiana, and then 39.1 in only 27 minutes. Okay, so super high floor for Alyssa Thomas. I know a lot of, when the Discord, we've taken Alyssa Thomas a few times, and she has not come through for us. But just taking a look at this matchup, like I said, presents a great opportunity. I think you can see here 2 of Alyssa Thomas' 5 highest scoring fantasy point games have come against Indiana this season, including her highest fantasy score total game this year. She's gone over this line, like I said. She went over this line in 27 minutes earlier this season versus Indiana. And she also averages more points per game on the road, which is key here. I think we're going to need Alyssa Thomas to score the ball in this matchup for her to clear this line. But, like I said, Indiana giving up the 2nd most points in the WNBA to opponents, as well as the 2nd worst defensive rating in the WNBA. So, again, Alyssa Thomas on the road, if this game remains close, this line's a little bit too low. She plays well against them. Like I said, 46, 59, and 39 and 27 minutes this season versus Indiana. And just kind of a floor fantasy score line that we would need, like 38.1, 16, 8, and 5, 7, 18, 7, 13, 11, 6, and 2, and 1. 5 turnovers here would still hit the over on this line here for Alyssa Thomas. So this is the first play. I like Alyssa Thomas over 38 fantasy. The second play is going to be another fantasy. It is going to be Kahleah Copper over 28.5. To me, this line is just a little bit too low, regardless of matchup, and I do think it's a pretty decent matchup for her. We look at the season. She's over this line in 19 of 31 games this season, and then you filter this to at home. She's over this line in 10 of 14 games at home, averaging 31.39 fantasy. So 71% hit rate this season at home for Kahleah Copper. And we look at her head-to-head matchup this season versus the Minnesota Lynx. She's played them 3 times, like I said, 24.7. She had 52.2 fantasy in her only home game this season versus Minnesota. 52.2 and then 18.5. But this 52.2 game here was debatably, I think, maybe her best game of the year. Or no, she's had 350 fantasy point games, but 52.2 at home versus Minnesota back on June 7th. 34-6, 2, 34 points, 6 rebounds, 2 assists, 2 steals, 2 blocks, 4 turnovers, shot the ball 23 times. Right? And I mean, look how many times, like I said, going back to this, she's hit the over on this line. This season at home, or this season 19 of 31, this season at home 10 of 14, and then essentially when she does see, like I said, in this matchup versus Minnesota, let's say a floor for her in this one is at least 32 minutes, right? We go to 2024, 32 minutes. At home, 5 of 6 and 12 of 16. So an elite hit rate. Like, she hasn't had lower than 20 fantasy points in any home game when she plays 32 minutes this season. Like I said, like 28 and a half, 30 points. We know she's like gonna shoot the ball a ton. Even in these recent stretch, these last 3 of her last 4 games when she's gone under this line, I mean, she's had 17 shots, 20 shots, 17 shots. So the volume is gonna be there for her. Right, she's just in a little bit of a shooting slump. 7 for 17, 6 for 20, 8 for 17, but like 22, 6 and 2 with 2 turnovers, no defensive points, clears the over on this line at 28 and a half. Again, she's a home type of player. I think as far as Phoenix as a whole team playing better at home. Like if we go to this, this season, let me filter this too. Just in general, right? No filter on the minutes. 2024 when she plays at home. I mean, 10 or 14 games, averaging 31.39 fantasy. I like this spot for Kahleah Copper. She's had 52.2 fantasy at home versus Minnesota. These 2 player props for this video. Please drop a like, you guys. Hit that subscribe button, and as always, let's cash.